Okay, we want to take a minute and show you the magic we prepared for Mary Poppins for our production of Mary Poppins Jr. North Summit Middle School just finished production end of September, so we're actually in the process of cleaning things up, but we want to take a minute and just show some of the magic that we've developed for our production. First, let's start with the nursery. A few things here. We've got the bag. And for the bag, what we did to develop the bag is, this is just we tried to find a carpet bag, but couldn't find one that would work very well. So what we did is take kind of a carpet-looking bag, and inside the bag, we just made it very structured with some PVC pipe. So it's very rigid. So when Mary carries it in, it doesn't fold in, and it just stays in place. Then, as part of the magic for the bag, it has to have a bottom a false bottom that will cave in, and so this is the bottom. She's pushing on that when she gets it in place on the shelf, and we'll show the shelf in just a second. And this is where the items will come up through. To keep the bottom in place, there's just some pieces of Velcro that are on here. It's like one's actually falling off, but there's pieces of Velcro that keep it from coming actually all the way down when it's closed and ready for transport. Okay, so there's the bag. Okay, next we have in the nursery we have the table, and this table has a top that has been cut out. So what Mary would do is she would come and place her bag on this top that has been cut out. It's about right there. So let's show you the top of the table. So behind the scenes, there's someone working behind the scenes, and there's a little latch that will, you take the latch down, and then the magic hole of the table appears. And so Mary would set her bag here, and then actually I was the one to be under there, and it was just simply, I was pulling the bottom of the bag, and so if you look down in there, you can see how that hole of the bag works with the hole of the table. So, okay, so there's the magic bag with the magic table, and then behind the scenes, we have the various items that go up through the bottom of the table into the bag. First of which is the hat rack. Now this was especially prepared as well. This is actually made out of a flagpole that we got off Amazon, and then we got a different type of top. It looks like a hat rack top, and then we put a different bottom on it too. So the bottom was important because both the bottom and the top have to fit up through the hole. Okay, so the first item that goes up the magic hole in the magic bag is the hat rack. Mary's there to receive the hat rack, and she just pulls it up and through. So it takes two people, someone back here on the back end, and Mary guiding it out of the bag, but it comes out fairly easy. Okay? And then another item that we had come through the bag, of course, was just flowers that Mary could set on the bedstand or whatever scenery piece you choose. But they just, again, go up Mary's there to receive them. They just go right up the hole, and no problem. And during how we staged this is even before the mirror, we had Mary's tape measure. That was another item that went up the hole. That didn't cause any problem at all. She could rummage and reach down there and pull that up. But we staged this as Mary was singing Practically Perfect. This is one item she came to the bag and pulled up was the mirror. And again, the mirror just slips right up there. Okay, so this worked really well for us. never had a problem with it any performance night. It seemed to work fairly well. The hat rack is probably the most awkward, but again, on the right angle, it just comes right up the bag and up through the table and then up to the bag. So there you have it. North Summit Middle School's solution to magic in the nursery. Thanks. Okay, we want to show you our solution to magic in the kitchen. This is a hutch we built that the plates and the cups and the goblets all collapse, and then Mary uses her magic to set them right again. So we're going to show you how this works. So on cue, there was, and our cue for us was when Robertson and I, he would come and he would hit the side of the hutch. That would be a cue to make the dishes collapse. So we want to show you how it works. First, the goblets come down, and then the cups come down, and then the plate. Okay, so that's in the collapse position. So when Mary comes and she does her magic, then everything is going to be put in its proper position. Okay, so cups, goblets, and plates down. Now here's the order in which these are going to go up when Mary snaps and says, "Right yourself." So we have the big plates going up first, and we have the cup next, and then we have the goblets returning. Okay, now that you've seen how the hutch collapses, the dishes collapse, and then how they come back to life, I just want to show you how we prep for the show. First thing you want to do is just give yourself a little slack on these goblets. We'll just kind of lift them up just to make sure that there's nothing holding them up so that they'll fall smoothly. Same thing with the cups and saucers. Just kind of wiggle them a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of slack in the line. The goblets are held down by fishing line. There's a little bit of fishing line right there. It gives them a pivot point, and then a fishing line that pulls them back up. So that's the mechanism in which they work. Cups and saucers, there's just a little hole in there in that cup, and you can see that little BB and the fishing line, and that comes down through the cup, through the saucer, and it just pulls everything right into place. We have a small hole that goes through the shelf, and then one right behind the shelf that goes behind the cabinet, and so pulls everything easily into place. The plates, the mechanism behind the plates is that these plates are strung together, and on the plates there's it's a fishing swivel, so that the plates can roll and the line can roll without getting bound up. So they all just roll, and that fishing swivel allows them to roll. The line swivels instead of curls in on itself. So that's how the plates work. Okay, one more thing about the goblets that I failed to mention is these goblets are all on a hinged piece of particle board. And so what happens from behind the scene is there's something that comes up and hits this particle board and makes them just topple. So that hinge allows them to spring up. That force then knocks them back down. So that's the mechanism behind those goblets and how we get those down. So now behind the scenes, here's the mechanism that you use to push that hinge board up. It's just this handle right here. And you just, a couple of hits should get them down, no problem. So that's how the goblets fall. Okay? That's the first thing that needs to go down. The next thing that needs to go down are the cups, and this is the bar that does that. Simply let that go like that, and they all fall. And then the next thing that falls are the plates, the big plates, and it's this mechanism over here, and they simply fall. This is a two-parter. You've got to let this fall and hold the plates at the same time so that they'll roll into the corner, okay? So that's everything down. Now here's the process of getting everything up. So it's basically backwards of what we just did, okay? So the plates have to come up first. Again, a two-step process. I'm going to pull this. That's going to raise the shelf up. And this process right here is going to pull the plates back into place. So as I pull the shelf up, I lock it there, and then I pull the plates, and it rolls the plates and puts them back in line. That's the importance of that swivel. It allows them to just roll, okay? The next thing that needs to happen is the cups and the saucers. Again, two-parter. This is the part that's going to pull the shelf up. This is the part that's going to pull the cups and saucers back on the shelf. So everything goes up like that, locks into place. And then lastly are the goblets. This mechanism here pulls the goblets into place. You can do them, if you want to do them all at a time, pull all at a time. It's pretty neat if you just do one at a time. So I'm going to start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now all the goblets are up. And so that's the behind the scene. That's what someone's doing, orchestrating to get things down and the things up. So there's our magic hutch for Mary Poppins. It worked wonderfully for us. So thanks. Thanks for watching.